Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica illustrations. 皆さんようこそ。これはもっと美術、作っています。ストリーム。今回はヘラクレスの美術を作ります。いろいろの、ヘラクレスのレーバーズ、絵を描いています。We're doing this is an interesting chapter because we're not actually depicting what is occurring in the chapter of the book. We're instead depicting what is on a piece of a prop that exists in the chapter. So this chapter, number 6, is where the grandson of Hercules, or Heracles, arrives to help the Trojans. And he has this shield that's adorned with imagery of all of Heracles' labors. The famous 12 labors that Heracles does in penance for killing his family. And so, like fighting the Hydra, killing the Nemean lion. This one's not a labor, but it's him as a baby killing the 2 snakes that try to kill him. There's various acts of Heracles described in this chapter. So I figure we'll do like a close-up of the shield where you see a bunch of the different things that he's done. So this one I've been looking for an excuse to do for a while. This is based on a piece of imagery of Theseus, where Theseus kills the Minotaur and he drags the corpse out of the labyrinth. So I did, I made my own Heracles. Also, he has underwear on, or whatever that is, a Speedo. And I gave him a different, he's got his own physique, his own head. Obviously, there's no Minotaur, but the pose is similar. It's sort of my nod to that imagery of Theseus. Next, I guess I should show the finished picture. Between shows, I did the rest of this one, where Aias is attacking the sheep. I really like the way this one turned out. I did some fun post effects on this tree to make it kind of like more... But number one, it fades into the background a little. I kind of created this like splotchiness so that it feels like that whatever paint was used for this tree did not survive as well as the stuff on Heracles and the sheep. I might end up doing that to everything in all of the pictures at the end, just to give it all kind of like a old-timey look. I also came up with this aesthetic where the Greek pottery people would label all the characters in their stuff just in different spots. And so I'm just Google translating it. This is modern Greek, but I figure it's fine. I don't have any other options for this stuff. So yeah, like that, you can see that I'm putting like little labels on all the pictures now. This one says Achilles. That's Aias or Ajax. And I think a little fun Easter egg for anybody who possibly can read Greek, who reads this book. This one says Aias, and this one, it says Odysseus with a Greek question mark at the end. Because in the chapter, Aias kills this sheep thinking that it's Odysseus. So it's a, fun little bit for anybody who is trying to get a little bit of extra out of this art. It's, all these things are not really necessarily going to be noticed while a person's reading the book, but it's just kind of a fun little thing to do to think through these pictures. So now, this is the third picture, which is the Fighting the Hydra. You can see the Hydra here. His body kind of got lost, but we're going to redefine it later. A few of the heads are cut off, a few of the heads aren't. Iolaus, or however you pronounce his name, is here. Heracles is here chopping heads. And Iolaus is cauterizing the heads. So we're going to do Iolaus first. This one's pretty cool. Heracles' pose is actually inspired by a piece of Frank Frazetta artwork which I'm going to sort of fuse with a piece of Greek pottery that I've seen. And that's kind of possibly the most contemporary, well, definitely the most contemporary piece of inspiration that I've done so far for these. And I kind of like that we would pull that sort of thing in. Oops. So this is kind of a big job for this chapter. There's a lot of pieces of art that are getting made, so we probably don't want to spend too much time on any particular bit of imagery, but we'll kind of do what we can for now. Also, an interesting concept on this Theseus thing is it's white figure on black background. So the final step of this, I figure we would have to do it at the end. But let's just see what it would look like really quick. So it would be like this. And then let's just get rid of the bones really quick. It's at 21. For this type of part, you'd probably give him like a comic book style outline so that the black doesn't get eaten by the black. It almost reads as kind of a halo. I wonder how we can, maybe like that. We're going to have to come up with like a design language for this, but something like that. Yeah, I think that works pretty darn well. All right, so we'll just get rid of this for now. Actually, we'll we can't redo it. Because for some reason, turning on or off the layers, it counts that as an action in the mobile Photoshop. So it's like, you can't like turn a layer on and off and then redo an action because it deletes all of your undos. So the story of Heracles and the Hydra, which if you've seen the Disney Hercules movie, sort of about the Hydra, or if you just know general stuff about mythology, because the Hydra is a pretty famous one. But the idea is that he goes up against this Hydra, and it has all these heads, and every time you cut a head off, it grows another one back. And the thing about the heads is that I think it's like his cousin or something, Iolaus, comes in and helps him out by, whenever Heracles chops off a head, Iolaus sort of tag teams in and cauterizes the wound so that the head can no longer grow back. and that's how they sort of take out the Hydra. So the imagery of Heracles and the Hydra when it's depicted, which I haven't really seen that many pictures of it being depicted, but it'll show the two of them. So, you know, I don't really, I just think it's a really cool, you know, sort of like high fantasy type of scene. So who does better stuff for high fantasy than Frank Frazetta? So I used a little bit of inspiration from him. The Hydra I pulled, usually the Hydra for Greek stuff, like in their pottery and stuff, is depicted as like a, sort of like a snake for the heads, and it sort of like resolves into like a ball, if that makes sense. I'm thinking I might want to make Iolaus crouching or something, because I'm drawing him as if he's standing, which I would then have to move him like down, but I think I want to make him crouching. First of all, let's make him smaller. Yeah, it kind of resolves into like a ball where all the heads meet, but I instead, for this one, we're going to go with sort of like a dinosaur body, like a Brachiosaurus or something, which I think will make it a little bit more interesting. What are we doing here? We want to do this. I was having some fun with these Heracles pictures because it's not really, like, there's a lot of stories to cover, and you know, you can kind of, been a lot of depictions of it already, so like you can sort of just come up with your own thing and screw around. Yeah, let's give him like a crouching position like this. It's just not a very heroic pose. Ah. Yeah, whenever you bring the pencil down to the bottom of the screen, it like doesn't it doesn't save your work, which is very frustrating. The interesting thing about this one too, I'm basing this off a piece of pottery that does depict Theseus, you know, this circular framing device. And what I love about that one is that the imagery of Theseus on each, around this circle, his feet are actually like, all the characters depicted are like touching the circle as it twists. So like they're kind of standing in such a way, like as if they're standing on top of a mountain or something, where it's uneven footing, and it gives you interesting opportunities for like more dynamic ways to stand. So God, it won't let me grab. We're gonna want to sort of let them overlap. So I would like to let the Nemean lion, I didn't really know what to do for the body of the Nemean lion because it would be so large that it's like, you know, kind of hard to fit it onto the page and not just waste a bunch of space. So I think I kind of like foreshortened his body in a way that it works, but I still don't want it to just be that. So I think having Iolaus's body overlapping it would be pretty good. What the hell is going on here? Yeah, so there's this sort of like interesting thing where you're drawing them not as if they're standing on the ground, but as if they're standing on a circular object. And the way that the pottery guys chose to do it for these ones, is that he's kind of like dragging his foot, his back foot like that, in the areas that go backwards behind him. So we're just gonna kind of like follow the contour. Okay. And I don't really, you kind of have to twist your arm to make it maybe like that. And then we're gonna give him a torch. I don't know, we'll do the fire later. Ah! He's holding the torch in such a way that it would literally be like burning his hand. But we'll deal with that afterwards. So we have Iolaus. Let's get the next character in. Sort of unrelated to what we're doing right now, but I'm just curious how to pronounce his name. Iolaus. Which is not necessarily the way to pronounce his name in everyone's reckoning, but when I did my, I've been doing my audiobook version of this story, I actually made like a study guide thing, or like a pronunciation guide, so that when I'm narrating, before every chapter, I meticulously research how every single named person who appears, how their name would be pronounced, so that I don't, misrepresent in the narration. And, I spell it out phonetically and stuff. So, for what I reached for that one is Iolaus. Okay. We're gonna do this. And let's take a quick look at so Rosetta is doing it in a really interesting, like he's doing it like this. So in that case, we would get rid of this part. He's really twisting the torso as well. I don't even know how this would... I guess it would be like that. And this would be going like this. Yeah, that is what it is. There's a lot of different depictions of Heracles. I wanted to give him kind of like a lumberjack physique and like a lumberjack's beard. Sort of the way that oh, now I'm starting to get a little bit of this sort of comic book style here. We should probably go back to some of our Greek references. The way that he's depicted in Jason and the Argonauts, the 60s movie. I think that's a cool way of doing Heracles that I haven't really seen a lot of depictions do. Oops. And so for this, see, I'm making him a little bit too... And at a certain point, we can start... We can start giving him the Nemean lion. I guess we could do that now. Hold on, I gotta plug my phone in. I forgot I had to charge it. So a little fun Easter egg that I did was that I gave, this is like a close-up of the baby version. I gave the baby Heracles like a lion onesie that he's wearing. It's sort of like a little nod to the fact that usually in Greek artwork, like his most famous thing that he's depicted with, like famous prop, is the lion skin head, which if you've seen the Dwayne Johnson Heracles or Hercules movie, they use that imagery in that, which I actually really like that movie. I think that one's pretty close to the, it takes a lot of liberties, but it feels more in line with like actual Greek myths, which I really appreciate. All right, so how would his body twist like this and still end up there? I don't think that's possible. It would have to be somewhere in between, like maybe here. No, here. Maybe he's not twisting like this. Maybe he's twisting a little bit more. So let's see, if his head is like this, his leg would have to be a little bit more here. And we'll give him his Speedo thing as well. Might be better to give him like a barbarian's loincloth or something. But I don't know if that's gonna start feeling too non-Greek. We'll do this for now. Because this is kind of like my nod to him sort of being nude, but in such a way that I don't really want to draw the nudity. I think we are gonna, yeah, it's gonna be like a twisting body, and I guess we'll sort of draw the musculature like that. Maybe like this. If I was grabbing a sword, yeah, it would be like that, except the hand would be going in the other direction. Good. So you want that hand to hit right here. And we also, I keep drawing him like less bulky than he should be, really. So it would probably be something like this. No, wait, his other arm. Also, his arm is like really long. I guess it would have to go under here. Let's just draw a stick for now. That's what's going on. Okay. So is this gonna not let me draw now? My hand's like sticking to the surface of the iPad too much to make this work as a straight line. It's not exact yet, but we don't need it to be exact right now. Okay. What's the head that I had for Heracles on the other one? Right. So let's just pull that in. Honestly, we could actually just copy paste the head. Oops, that's the wrong one. And we could mess with it enough so that it's not exactly the same. Number one, let's get rid of this stuff. So we gotta make this so that it's going like this. Yeah. Cool. What if his head is going like, no, it has to go like this. His head would kind of be partially blocked by his shoulder, but I don't know if that's gonna play. Yeah, I think we can cheat it. Yep. Alright, get rid of that. We will merge this. Oh, wait a second. We want to merge this. So this we drew without the bones in the pencil, and it obviously looks pretty sketchy, so we're just going to redo that. twist. Okay. So now, let's just put his hand in there. So if I was being depicted, I would have to like take a photo of my hand, but you know what I think it is that I wouldn't put my dominant hand on the bottom of a sword, like a baseball bat, like you'd put it on the top. That doesn't look right at all. Now, why is that? Because that's his right hand. Let's take a look at our Frazetta picture here. Now he does a thing where he's kind of just obscuring the hands in shadow. All right, that works for me. Yeah, this probably shouldn't be like that. It should be like this. Okay. Anybody who doesn't know who Frank Frazetta is, by the way, he does or did great sort of like dark fantasy artwork. I'm sure if you like fantasy stuff, you've probably seen his work already, even if you don't know it. It's definitely worth checking out either way. It's very, very inspiring, especially if you like, or if you want to create artwork. And yeah, this one is sort of my nod to his picture of some kind of barbarian or whatever. Chopping up, I don't even know what he's swinging his sword at, but it's a really cool picture. Okie dokie. So we have Iolaus, we have Heracles. Heracles looks suitably jacked in comparison to Iolaus. You know, though, hold on a second. Yeah, his thumb is in the wrong spot on this one. He's got two left thumbs. Like that. Yeah, that's correct. It's getting a little hectic with the outlines underneath. Let's see what it looks like with that. Yeah, it's looking good. Iolaus is more or less inspired directly by a piece depicting Theseus, and Heracles is sort of using a pose that Theseus did, but you couldn't even really tell if you looked at it because there's nothing of that Theseus picture in this Heracles picture, really. Okay, so next we do the Hydra, and then we put this into the general frame. I have a whole list of, deeds of Heracles that I want to depict, and I don't know how many we're going to be able to fit in, but we'll just kind of keep making stuff until we run out of space. The hardest ones are going to be when we get to the corners, and then we have to like chop off pieces of the pictures that we're making and stuff, because that's going to be sort of heartbreaking to have to do. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with that, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it, I suppose. So that's going to do it for now, ladies and gents. Yeah, we have Iolaus, we have Heracles, and now we just need a Hydra in the center. So I will see you next time. Thank you for joining the show. The channel is called The Voice of Nick. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit the follow button. エピソードを好きだったらチャンネルをフォローしてください. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.